And Marlins did the unthinkable. And that is they have avoided a sweep in Boston, beating the Red Sox 5-3 in Boston, Massachusetts at Fenway Park, winning this game 5-3 and winning in the comeback fashion. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Where should we start? So it was a pitching duel between Jansen Junk. Jansen Junk going up against Garrett Crochet. Both pitchers did extraordinarily well, as we'd expect from Crochet. But for Jansen Junk, he was not bad either. He was not bad at all. There were some unlucky moments. And yes, it's possible to score off Crochet. Eric Wagman, who Marlins fans have shitted on for the longest time, has crushed it to center field. This was a 453 feet home run to take the lead for the Marlins, and I was not convinced. At the time, I was not convinced because normally when the Marlins do something, they end up blowing it away. That was my thinking, at least. But that was the first hit in the ball game. And I was not convinced. I wouldn't say, convinced is the wrong word to use. I was not satisfied with this at all. So, sorry about that. A little bit of walking, borrowing the room. Anyway, the first hit of the game for the Red Sox was Torralds to single to right at the bottom of the third, but they were able to Jansen was able to ground out the next three batters. But then the bottom of the fourth inning, Trevor Story popped shortstop. Okay, Duran worked the walk. Duran stole second. Yoshida grounded to first. The important pitch for Jansen Junk, and this one was hit to right, 377 feet, and this was so unlucky for Dane Myers. Abreu was able to get this home run, but that ball was caught. And when he crashed into that wall, he lost the baseball, and that ball was over the wall for Dane Myers. And I feel horrible for Dane. I really do feel horrible for Dane because these past few weeks, he has been shitting on. He has been, some slanderous comments from the fan base caused him to delete his social media. And I realized that this morning, it was this morning I realized that he deleted his X account. And it's just the horrible treatment from the fan base is just not good at all. I mean, I was saying this to the fan base for the Marlins and the Dolphins. Treat it to somebody who actually deserves it. Dane does not deserve it at all. So I feel bad for Dane Myers. And that not catch thingy sums up 2 weeks. It really did sums up 2 weeks. And the Red Sox have a 2-1 lead over the Marlins. Great. And then from this point forward, from 5th all the way to the 8th, this pisses me off so much. Here, let me just put the pattern in real quick. Single, grounded somewhere, grounded to third or grounded to short, out at first. And then the next two batters, it's an out. The top of the 6th inning, it's the same thing, right? You start off with the hit or a walk or something like that. You start on base. But the top of the 6th, ground out, cool. Ramirez gets hit by a pitch. Lopez line out to center. And then the fielder's choice, which did not score anything. Runner scoring position did not get anything. Red Sox, Duran was hitting the baseball pretty well. Top of the 7th, once again, you go on base. There was a wild pitch from Crochet. And the Wackerman at bat, I swear to God, well, I know a balk when I saw a balk. Crochet definitely balked. And I'm so pissed off that is not a balk. That is clearly a balk. I don't care what the rule says with the new pitch time thing. That is a clear balk by rule, and somehow the Red Sox got away with it. And of course, a ground out. That really, really frustrated the hell out of me, because not only that they're getting on base with that continuous pattern, but we get screwed. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, 2 singles to start off. Toro hits sacrifice fly, and yeah, they can do it very easily. The Marlins couldn't do squat. But Jansen jumps in with a rebound from that. So thankfully that was able to come. A lot of changes for the Red Sox defense, and a lot of, some things. Marcy comes in the pitch. He hits a single to right. And I'm even putting this out saying, like, yeah, what is that going to do? Like, what is that going to do? X grounded to shortstop. I'm like, yeah, here it is. But Ramirez got hit again. He got hit again. Thankfully, it's okay, but you gotta go through what's in his mindset. Why is he getting hit this much? He was able to play through. Lopez line out center. Liam Hicks pinch hit for Hernandez. And that move ended up working, because one part is they were not going to score anything in the top of the 8th. I was wrong, thankfully. Liam Hicks single to left, which will allow Xavier Edwards to score. Thankfully, it's now 3-2 Red Sox. Sonoha struck out swing, which that pitch was so outside the zone. And like shit. Tyler Phillips, he did this thing again. He, slap it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to actually hit myself, because then YouTube would take this down. But basically, yeah, he slapped himself coming out of the Fenway of the bullpen, and like, perhaps this might be the momentum shifter. 1-2-3 inning, which is awesome. Top of the 9th. Perhaps my reverse jinxing works. So I'm thinking, why not tweet this out? Why not say, watch the Marlins not going to get anybody on base. Boy, was I wrong, and thankfully I was so wrong. Weiser comes out to pitch for the Red Sox, and Dane Myers, who had an awful luck at right field, ends up hitting it out of the yard. He ties the game. Dane Myers, I'm going to call this the Great Dane Redemption. Great Dane Redemption. Home run to right center. Tie game 3-3, which is awesome. Troy Johnson pinch hit for Joey Weimer, who is called up from the waivers and from Jacksonville, because we learned yesterday or so that Kyle Starr was going to be out for a few weeks from a tightness. Troy Johnson grounded to third, not good. But Wagman ends up singling to left. I thought it would be an error. I thought it would be an error for the shortstop, but that's not. So Wagman gets credit for the base hit. Steven Matz comes in for Boston, and Jacob Marcy ends up doing it again. It's a go-ahead home run for Jacob Marcy, going right, nearly 400 feet home run. And the Marlins, they were down 3-1, scored 4 unanswered points within the 2 innings. And Jacob Marcy with a go-ahead game-winning home run to take the lead for Miami. Now the score is 5-3, Miami over the Red Sox. The next 2 batters are out. Bottom of the 9th inning, Anthony Bender's coming in to save. And I was clenched. I was so clenched. I was so nervous, because I really wanted this win. Anthony Bender comes out to pitch. Bregman heads up getting a single to center, which was not a good start. Gonzalez struck out swinging. That's 1 out. Toro lined out to center. I'm like, okay, that was dangerous, because that was like really close to being out of the park. But thankfully, it stayed in the park, and Toro and the center fielder was able to get that baseball. So 2 outs now. Rafaela worked a walk. And then here comes Narvaez, and he flied out to right. This should do it. I was nervous, like, please catch the ball. Please catch the ball. They caught the baseball. And the final score of this game is 5-3 Miami over the Boston Red Sox. What was a rage type of game ends up being a good game for the Marlins, and the Marlins avoided a sweep in Boston, and that's something that they do not often do. So, thank goodness they're able to pull this off. And they could go back home feeling relieved about this. So, we got the St. Louis Cardinals next at home. Boy, this must feel good to go back home for the Marlins, because they need to go back home. They got the Cardinals, which is going to be a pretty close series, I think. But the Blue Jays is the thing to watch. Blue Jays is the series to watch. They are 73-51 on this time of recording. In fact, that might have changed right now. Let me check a look real quick. Okay, so they're losing 8-4. So, okay, maybe scratch 73-51. They might be 73-52 by the time this video ends. Or they can pull off a comeback. But I don't know. Either way, guys, that's good to do for this one. Good riddance, right? We needed this. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, and I will see you guys next video. Have a good one.